Hey guys, you see here, it is about 9 p.m. Eastern and January 25th. What the hell is happening to the market? Seriously, it has been really exciting to trade, yes, but definitely the ranges have been so wide. So if you're not using proper risk management or just not really paying attention, close attention to your positions or your trades, even uh, market has been changing direction, in an instant, mostly on the bear side. And then yesterday, everybody got excited about the bounce and all that stuff. So let me show you a few things just to kind of keep things in perspective. So I'm going to get into a clear chart. So just to ignore the noise, right? Because in times like these, because of these long ranges, right, you want to sometimes take a look, step back and see what is going on in the bigger picture, and then start following that. So here's the weekly chart, right? Uh, Now let's go back a couple of weeks and see what happened. All right, so this was the base, right? We broke down from that right over here where we also actually closed below the uptrend line here with a big bearish bar, increased volume as well, right? And then on the weekly level, we're still below that level, right? This was the support, right? So even with the rally yesterday, we're still below, and everybody is calling about, yes, it's a reversal, it's a bullish bar, and blah, blah, blah. On the weekly basis, this thing is still weak. There is no strength, right? Unless or until we get back above 351, I would say uh, this thing is bearish, right? I mean, the strength gets sold. If you look at the daily chart, right, here's the daily chart, and you can see this particular bullish hammer bar that everybody got excited about and saw and started saying it's a reversal because we closed above 351. It did not see any follow through, right? Today's bar was sort of a doji inside looking bar. So that means technically you're still in the downtrend because you're making lower highs, right? Still, and you're making lower lows, right? We just saw a higher low, but we did not see a higher high. So technically still downtrend. Nothing has changed. This was just a sort of a pause bar. Okay, maybe if not tomorrow or something, we can definitely see another big bar down this way, unless or until you start seeing some acceptance here, bottom wicks, and then start seeing closure in the lower time frame above 351. Pressure remains to the downside. That's what I meant. Okay, let's look at SPY. Probably similar story. Here is the weekly view. Let's start with that. Okay, I have no idea what that is. That is probably some error or something in the tick price. A lot of people were talking about that on Twitter today. I saw some notes because if you go into the lower time frame, like a minute chart, uh, it kind of disappears. But then if sometimes you go to 2 minute, you'll see that. So it's just something stupid, but it doesn't. We have no idea what that was or what caused it. But anyways, let's drill into, let's say, an hourly chart. So still a possible bear flag, right? Because this was the bounce yesterday, which made the high, and today we tried to get back above it, right? With all the strength, couldn't do it. We are still very much under pressure and still like this. Yeah, we can still try to rally above like this, and let's see how it treats this level as a breakout trade, or if it gets rejected and gives up this sort of a mini channel here for the next leg down, right? So that's the possibility. That's what the high probability trade right now is, unless or until you start seeing price acceptance above 440.5, 441, and then you can start targeting 448 here, okay, in the SPY. Let's look into some individual names. Start with everyone's favorite, Amazon. Going to always try to see the weekly chart. Now, interesting weekly chart, very clear weekly chart. This was our base, right? So unless or until we're above 28.42, 28.45, or let's say 50 for round number, this thing is weak, right? On the weekly basis, this can be just a pause bar sort of in a shape in a weekly level. could still be green, but a closure below 28.41 keeps it on the downside, keeps the pressure on the downside, and the next bar could be like this. Again, not scaring anybody, but with the sentiment that's been going on and all that stuff, it has been difficult market. But right now the pressure is down, so don't try to catch the bottom or anything like that. We will see if the bottom comes. Definitely, we'll find out and we will trade that. But for now, we don't have to be a hero on the daily level. It's an inside bar. Again, just like QQQs, where the technical price trend is still down, right? Yes, we bounced, but again, it closed below previous day's high, and this bar, bullish hammer bar, did not get any follow through to the upside. So no love there. Let's look at SHOP. Probably similar kind of pattern as well. Weekly bar right here, no closure above 10.15. It's still weak, right? Let's look at the daily time frame. It's kind of fell below its down channel as well, which was right here, right? We saw this nice bullish bar yesterday after making and a lot of times when this thing happens, so one of the my favorite trading setups that I look for is on a daily. Actually, it's much better to explain. So if you look at it, it opened up right here, right? It rallied, or actually it fell down. So when that happens, right, what you do is you just put a buy stop order right here at the open price, in case that if it comes back up, it takes you with it, right? So let's go into let's say 5-minute time frame and see what happened or how you could have played it. So this is yesterday we're talking, right? So the price opened up right here. You don't want to break, you don't know what's going on, but the setup wise, let it fall down, it's like this, and then once it's there, we put a stop order either at the high of the day or at the opening price, right? It could have been the case where it could have executed right here, and then what you do is you just put a stop loss order at the low of the day, and you would have stopped out, right, with the risk amount of almost the height of this. And then if it was coming back up, right, there was another trade, which is, hey, I'm going to do this trade again, because this time the bottom wick would be higher, so your entry would get executed right here. And again, you'll keep the stop loss as this amount, because technically the price is in the uptrend in the mini time frame that you're evaluating it at. So you could have reaped all these in profits, but always have a stop loss. But my sort of daily way to trades have been towards the bearish side. If it's on the upside, it would be very, very quick. Okay, Tesla. What's going on in the Tesla? Same thing, right? Same thing. Weekly, still, well, it can all change tomorrow or whenever the earnings are, probably tomorrow night, right? You can see what happens, but it could be a muted action, who knows, right? But this is the uptrend line that everybody's closely watching. And let's see what happens if it pops or if it drops below this trend line even and goes down. But, the options are very pricey for this one to trade if somebody's looking to do that. So let's look at Apple. Again, similar story, uptrend line. It's still right here. It's trading above that. We have a bearish sort of a week so far. A neutral sort of a weekly looking bar, but we don't know what's going on right now towards the end of the week, because that's when this will take its final shape. But right now the trend is down. The pressure is towards the downside, right? If you look at, let's say, let's go into, it's an hourly chart, right? Here is the hourly trend line that it is still under. So if you want to play bullish or lean bullish, right, or to start looking for bounce trades or things like that, the first time you want to get through this trend line and then look to see to catch it on the retracement back towards retesting this trend line or this support, if that's what it is, and then see if it goes back up, right? That's how you kind of look for these setups right now, because right now what can happen is it can just, and that's what it looks like it is doing, is that it got rejected right here, could not get above that level both days, twice, double top, and it just goes like this. Again, if it does not, that doesn't mean it will go like that. I'm just saying that it has the indication of that. as long as it is below this trend line. Once it gets above that, sure, we can play the next level up, which is around 166. But that's how you kind of put things in your mind or you plan. Okay, let's look at one more, Nvidia. Let's go to weekly time frame. Similar story, but this one is pretty weak. Again, earnings are coming soon, so this all can change in an instant. But we're talking from strictly price action perspective, right? This was the resistance, got back up, fell back down, and now it's just finding some hard time trying to get above that. Once it gets above that, sure, we can look into lower time frame to see if we can ride it back up towards at least the back test of this trend line, or even possibly, the channel trend line right there. That's what we can start targeting. But we need to see some more bullish follow through to some setup that comes after this, right? Right now, it's just an inside day with nothing going on. It's just been really, really weak. Okay. And frankly speaking, if you look at QQQ, right, it really looks like, hard selling that we have not seen in some time. And usually that's not a sign. Right now, it's not a sign of reversal. There is no sign. So don't try to catch the bottom or something. Let's evaluate this thing once we see some price acceptance here or things of that nature. Right now, sure, you will get these wild bounces, right? And that happens in the bear market. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we're out there, but that happens in volatile markets, right? You see these huge big bounces. Everybody thinks that we are out of the woods, but the next thing is just, traps everyone, and then you see a next leg down. Okay. You don't want to be that person. And if you do play something like that, always, always honor your stop loss, right? That is very important. Okay, hope you guys like this little video, and I'll try to make more of these as time goes on. Thank you guys, and have a good rest of your night.